live?
All right. Well, I'll let you know when the stream is working on Telegram here shortly.
Sure.
Okay.
So I think that was our intro.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I think we can begin. So I guess we will have to introduce each other first. So I am Laura from the CLS team. I am the marketing kind of specialist. Yeah, this is my teammate Diana. She's also a marketing specialist from the CLS team. From CLS is for Coin Liquidity Solutions for those who don't know. So we have Mr. Lightspeed, which is Dr. Chris Johnson right here, which will be the CEO of Puli. And we have Paul Farhi, which is the CEO of AI Tech. So today we will have a couple of topics to discuss, I guess. It will be quite long and interesting. I think we can begin. So kind of the first thing that I would kind of start it off with is for you guys to kind of introduce yourself, introduce the projects, maybe say something cool. The audience will love to hear that from you.
Sure. Do you want to go first, Paul?
Yeah, okay, fine. So I'm Paul Farhi. I am one of the founders of Solidus AITECH. We are currently in the process of launching our ICO. We have a utility token, so it's the world's first artificial intelligence utility token to be used via our infrastructure as a service platform to license AI as a service software applications and also to rent high performance computing power. And our token ATEC is the payment gateway that you can use to license or rent these services. And we've built a 8,000 square foot eco-friendly data center in Europe. And we're currently in the fundraising stages to complete that data center.
Mr.
Perfect.
Lightspeed,
Thank
Chris,
you.
do you want to go next?
Yeah. And for myself, my name is Chris Johnson. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel. I'm a program manager by trade and a CEO for a corporate business, but I've also jumped into the crypto world a few years ago, providing government contracts to help the government understand how the blockchain works and to operate. And during that time frame, I was not allowed to actually touch crypto myself or make money from crypto. So I had to make a choice. So I decided to go ahead and march to my own tune. And here I am now supporting as the CEO for Lightspeed Crypto Services, as well as supporting an amazing community for Puli Token as their CEO. Have a great team with us. We are operational. We launched in January, mid-January. So we now well into our 8th month now. We have a published game on Android and iOS called Puli Runner. We have Puli Astro in development, and we also have an RPG game named Puli Degents that's also in development. So several games in our pipeline as well as release. So very happy about that. They are all connected to our NFTs. We have NFTs that are live and under mint right now that open up our play to earn environment. So we have a lot of lessons that we can share to any community, any team on what it's taken for us to go mobile, to get on Android and iOS. So we're part of the United DeFi movement. So always happy to work with and partner with other projects and share what we learned and so forth. So really happy to be here talking with Paul and what he's doing, because he's going to be talking about HPC, and HPC is going to be pretty critical to what he's building. And I can see that having a part in what we want to do in the future as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess kind of like the first topic that I wanted to start us off with is something that everyone is really interested in knowing. Kind of like what do you think about the current market conditions? You know, we know that things are going up and down, but kind of what is the effect that that's having on your project, and across promo like this, would it help to grow, or do you think that the community is really not going to grow from here?
Oh well, for Puli, I would say that bear market did have an impact, right? It had an impact on a lot of projects. But I would say that if you look at our staking pool, where we got 42% of our staking of our total supply is staked, there are a tremendous number of holders that are actually just sitting in, taking in rewards. So if you have a mechanism that will hold on to your community, I think that you have a recipe there for success. You need utility, you need um, some other way to hold on to your community and keep them together. If you're just a Ponzi, it's just not going to work and it'll fall apart. And we're already seeing that across the board. So many tokens have failed. The amount of tokens in the playing field has really thinned out in the last few months. The amount of tokens that we've seen, for example, on Puli being compared against, has trimmed, and we're still operational. We're still able to generate the revenues we need to continue development on our games, and that's a key metric, right? Are you able to continue to keep your team together? For example, our staff is still together. We're still able to move forward and continue to do those things. So that is a really key metric to what you look at. Volumes are still there. Volumes are sustainable enough, and and we have a game that's already released that does bring in some revenue. So now we just got to scale, and that's the key. So as long as we have a product that can cater to our communities, I'm confident we'll be doing just fine. And to that, we are delivering. And how do you see yourself coming in, Paul? You're
Paul?
coming into a tough market too, right?
Yeah, so we delayed the listing, as I'm sure you all know, and we took a decision to do that because we didn't want to list in poor market conditions. We have a very big community that have high expectations for the Solidus AI Tech token. We want to deliver, and listing when we was planned to list would have been a recipe for disaster, and we would have had a lot of community members complaining. So we decided to delay the listing until further notice. We don't have a set date in mind because we don't have a crystal ball. We can't time the market. But what we are doing at the moment is just continuing to develop the project so that when we do list, we actually have a stronger backbone, which should help us to grow even more than what we would have done listing maybe a couple of months ago. We do have majority of the community behind us. We can't please everybody, but we're not here to please everybody. As long as we can please the majority of the community with our decision, then for me, we're winning. And we hope to list by the end of this year. But again, we are at the mercy of the market conditions. And it's a case of just reviewing everything weekly and seeing where the market's at. What we have done in the meanwhile is we've agreed 7 exchange listings to date, so our community can see that we are actively engaging with exchanges, and we've agreed, signed contracts, made payments. So we're gearing up for listing right now, so that when we are ready to list, it's not a case of having to agree everything with exchanges. We can literally, kind of action things quickly. We have our staking platform that we've built as well, so that when we do list, that staking platform will go live instantly, and our community can begin staking their tokens to earn additional rewards. So everything's in the pipeline. We have been developing, and we continue to develop, so that when the time is right, we can go live.
Well, I think you're so smart to have that staking pool planned from the get-go. I keep getting a lot of feedback, especially from some of our larger contributors to the project. They have a place that it helps them ride out the harder times on a project, because
Yeah.
if you're going to be a hodler and going for the long haul, if you're able to get a yield return on top of it, it incentivizes sticking around. And that was our first deliverable actually on Puli, is we had the staking platform up and running. It originally wasn't even planned at launch, but within a week and a half, we had the smart contract and our UI up and running with a partner. And so that's where the partner came into play. A partner came in and delivered on the staking pool very fast, actually. It was all audited as well. And that was a key. It's been working just marvelously for us. And and we're able to adjust the yields based upon our volume levels in order to have sustainability. But I think you're so smart to do that. We're also strategically doing the same approach. We're live, right? So um, the situations, the context changed a little bit, but our decisions end up being the same. Is that we're also delaying listings on the larger centralized exchanges because of the downward motion on the market. So that doesn't say that we're not still talking. We have a lot of conversations going. We know exactly what the cost would be if we were to go do it, and the amount of liquidity we'd have to put up. In some cases, the exchanges will come back to try to sweeten up the deal, like to do an initial exchange offering where they try to do some kind of sale at a discount for members to come on board, and you take the proceeds and put in liquidity and stuff. So you have some leverage as well. The exchanges actually want people to come and list, and so
Yeah.
if you can get them to actually come to you, that's the advantage. So in some cases, we're playing coy and just waiting for them to actually to cave down to a better price for us as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, what you just said is completely true. So it's kind of worked in our favor, really, because the market conditions are bearish and exchanges want to have tokens listing on their platforms. We've managed to negotiate some very, very good deals with exchanges in terms of costings, which has helped us for sure. We're speaking to, I would say, around 3 or 4 tier 1 exchanges at the moment. But
Mhm.
the kind of feedback that we're getting is the community that we have is not yet big enough for the exchanges to entertain us. What I've realized is that the top exchanges, they want big communities to come over from a kind of a selfish point of view because they want more users on their platform. So we're currently taking their feedback on board, and again, developing and growing our Twitter community is the key for us listing on these top exchanges. They like the project and everything that we're doing, but it's just a case of when we can get our Twitter subscribers up to the 50K mark, then they'll be happy to list us, which seems silly really because we've got a very strong project, but the project isn't their concern, it's just the community. So we've been proactively working to grow the Twitter, and in the last week we've grown 2,000 new real subscribers.
Mhm.
We're not interested in bots or anything like that because they can see that anyway, so it's kind of a pointless exercise. So we have 2,000 new subscribers on Twitter, and our Meta BattleBots Twitter page, which went live quite recently, we've grown that up to 6,500 within the last I think about a week and a half ago. We was on 570 odd, and we're now at 6,500, and that's purely because we've been doing a lot of influencer marketing on Twitter. So we've grown the BattleBot page quite a lot really in the last 7 to 10 days. So our vision and our goal is to have between 30 and 50,000 subscribers on both pages by the end of this year. And of course, that then should give us access to the bigger exchanges. So we're hoping to have 10, maybe 12 exchanges by the time we list. We're not going to list on all of them in one day because that would be a complete disaster and very stressful. But I think certainly we'll list on maybe 1 or 2 in the first week, and then we'll stagger them after maybe 1 a week or something like that. So CLS have got their work cut out with the market
Yes.
making.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of market making for us. But and by the way, CLS, you've been doing amazing work for us on our own exchange, and I appreciate it. Um, it's been quite invaluable to get the right people to do that, so that people can actually trade and do their buys and sells. I don't think people appreciate the value that it brings. I just couldn't imagine putting up an order and then sit and have to wait until the next person puts an order that matches. So if you can at least facilitate the stuff to move through, that helps smoothly. So thank you. Um, Paul, I couldn't say enough praises for them when it comes to making sure that all these exchanges run smooth. So I
Yeah,
think
that's good to know. I mean, we met with the guys from CLS earlier on this year, and we kind of built a relationship with them Went to their offices a few times in the UAE and Dubai, and built a good relationship. Obviously, we've not had the opportunity of working with them on the market making side of things yet, but we have agreed to use them when we go live, and obviously having feedback from you as well that they've delivered is good to hear.
Yep. Yep, and I think just the tight integration has helped with the team. Staying communicated on what you're doing will help the project a lot, so they can kind of stay on the pulse of things. Because all that just needs a jive, and to have it all synchronized amongst the exchanges is a plus. A lot of projects, when they do this, they may have different market makers in all the different channels, and it's a mess.
No,
And
definitely not.
yeah, you're going to have this. That's the same approach that we're going to use too. As we get on other exchanges, we want everything to kind of be managed by a central market maker. So, I hate using the word. I mean, or homogenized together. But
these exchanges, they all offer pretty much all of them offer a market making service with their packages. But listing on 7 or 10 or 12 exchanges and having 7, 10 or 12 different market makers is gonna be very stressful. So having it in one place, I feel, is gonna definitely save a lot of messing around and stress from my side.
You definitely want to be independent too. I could, if it's if the exchange actually running that service, then I'd be raising my eyebrows a little bit. It's kind of like, because whose numbers am I going to trust? So what Coin Liquidity Solutions has done for us, and I want my own community to understand that, and yours too, is that anytime the numbers don't exactly square up right and you're concerned, they can be your they can raise that up for you and act on your behalf, and they've done that a few times for us. Hey, let's double check all the math here. Let's make sure everything's right, and the numbers do come back up right, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm glad that there's a third party that can scrutinize to make sure everything's running to the right performance levels that we want. That's key. So yeah, that's very key there with the listings. We're doing the same thing. We're waiting. We're just for the right times. We have done some of the decentralized exchanges. For example, our most recent one was with Radio Shack. They have some good promos going on to sweeten up the deal with the liquidity, to put up some liquidity. So we've been doing some of that. So there's also the decentralized exchanges as well, because not everyone wants to go on the centralized exchanges. So I think for Puli, we're on enough. I think it's easy enough to find a place for us to swap, and so we may put up more liquidity pairs as that becomes affordable to us down the road, because it's always nice to have different markets. It also is a good strategy to mitigate whales if you have more than one pool of liquidity at different places, and arbitrage markets are always a good way to generate some additional volumes and generate revenue for the project. So it creates a healthy system as well. So that's on my long-term plan strategically to do. So I'm not going to hedge.
Are you on Binance Smart Chain?
Yeah, we're Binance Smart Chain, and which chain are you building on?
So Ethereum ERC20, but we have a bridge to the Polygon network, which will lower the gas fees. So I mean, we wanted to do Ethereum. We feel it is a very robust network, albeit that the fees are very high. But bridging to the Polygon network obviously lowers those fees. So it made sense for us to do that. And when it comes to our community claiming their tokens, when our claim portal goes live, of course, it's going to be lower cost to them to claim their tokens.
I think that was smart. I'm glad we did our mint, our NFT mints on Ethereum, and mostly because it's just a lot of NFT buyers. It made sense for that, for who are the clientele for buying NFTs. But our games actually recognize the NFT when you go and make up your account and you select your NFT. It really doesn't matter what chain the NFT is on. As long as the game knows that you have one that qualifies you for play to earn, it's fine. And then all our earnings are coming on Binance Smart Chain, so the BNB chain. And so that saves us on the gas, it saves us on the cost. So um, though, though it's been very helpful in that regard. So playing the game on a chain that's gas efficient is going to be really key for you, right? So
Yeah,
uh, yeah, so
yeah, definitely.
yeah, so it was for us as well. So
I mean,
we
we was looking to, because we have our NFT drop coming soon. We was looking to do it on the Polygon network, but there's just not as much buying volume. If you go on to OpenSea and have a look, I mean, Solana's come around quite a lot recently. There's been a lot of really big successful projects launching on Solana. But there's not many on Polygon. So although it would have been cheaper for the gas fees for the buyers, there wouldn't have been as many buyers. So we kind of had to weigh up the options, and we felt that the Ethereum network, the most buying volume is on that network for NFTs, and so that's why we decided to go with the Ethereum network for the smart contracts and the NFTs.
well, every now and then you're going to have people who are going to be on another chain exclusively, and we do as well. We have community members who were introduced to BNB chain and came on board to crypto and learned everything about crypto by that way. Um,
Yeah,
and so what we're doing and what we're exploring is because the project itself has a supply of NFTs that we have minted ourselves, and we can facilitate and sell these NFTs. What we're looking at doing is selling these NFTs for BNB or maybe even Puli token to these community members, so they can at least have an NFT that they can then unlock the ability to do play to earn. Because right now, to bridge over, there's a cost, right, and then to buy. Um, so if we can do this for them and save our community member a few dollars in the process, then everyone wins. And
yeah,
so that's one solution. That if you end up with people that are just solely on Polygon, which in my mind I don't know, I'm not that familiar with the chain to think that someone would be just solely on that chain.
yeah,
I'd be surprised, but if that's the case, then wow, they're really coming along. But I know it's the case on BNB chain
yeah,
for sure. That there are people working exclusively on it. So that's how we're approaching our own NFT mint, and I'm sure the community will take this news pretty favorably. It's like, you mean,
definitely.
yeah. So
That was actually, you guys covered our next topic, which was NFTs.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't have the time to ask the question. I think you guys covered it, and I think that's brilliant, because that's exactly what we need when projects are doing this, is to talk more about, of course, each other, and about the topics that are a bigger interest to you, to your project, to your community. And that's exactly what we want to bring out. So I guess the next kind of question is maybe towards Paul. If you can tell us a little bit more about like high performance computing, what's that all about, and maybe if we can connect it somehow to Puli. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay. So
And maybe
yeah.
everything. Sorry.
Go ahead, Diana. Sorry,
Go.
there's a bit of a
No, no.
lag.
I just wanted to know if guests for our guests who is connected with the gaming.
Sorry, it cut out. Then what was you saying? The gas fees for gaming?
This computing connected with the gaming as well.
So like
Sorry,
how is computing connected with the gaming?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got it. Okay, so all right, we've got the data center that we built around a year and a half ago, 8,000 square foot data center in Bucharest, Romania. We are going to be filling that up as much as possible with the funds that we have raised and are continuing to raise with HPC servers. That's going to be connected to our infrastructure as a service platform. We're going to have two types of services predominantly on there. There will be another service added in the near future, which is the Government Enterprise Blockchain Solutions. But to begin with, it will be AI as a service software applications that organizations can license from us, and the high performance computing power that, again, organizations can rent from us. What we've noticed is that there's tons of companies or projects developing play-to-earn games in the metaverse or metaverse projects that are building out. And what they don't have in their roadmap is a data center to power their requirements for their streaming services. And to be honest, they wouldn't need a whole data center unless the project was completely massive, which is probably not going to be the case. So we was looking at this and we realized that we could power metaverse projects with our HPC power. And the good thing with what we have is we have a cryptocurrency token, AITECH, which is the native token for our project, where these services can be rented. Now, research that we've done has shown us that these companies would prefer to use a crypto token to pay for these services because they're companies that are in the crypto space, and to convert crypto into fiat and then liquidate that into a bank account to then pay for these types of services to maybe the obvious, which would be Amazon Web Services, is really inconvenient and is going to cost them more money. So allowing projects to purchase our services with our token is definitely going to be of benefit. And we will be able to offer our services at a lower cost because we're not Amazon Web Services or IBM or any of the top organizations that offer these types of services. And we have very, very fast internet speeds where we're located in Romania. I think we've got the third fastest internet speed in the world, which will help with latency. And we also have very low electricity costs, which again, when running a data center, that is your biggest overhead. So I feel that we can offer HPC power to organizations in this space at a lower cost and giving them access to these services with a crypto token. There isn't any other companies out there that I know of that can offer HPC power with a cryptocurrency.
I mean, I can see the
That's
demand. Go ahead, Dan.
That's actually
No, I
sounds
think
perfect. I just wanted to also your comment, Mr. Weiss, and what do you have in mind?
For me, I was just saying that when I think of play to earn and where it's going to go, because I think it's going to need something like what Paul's doing. If the problem right now is that a lot of the games out there in GameFi simply are not fun. They're not, and I'm not immune from those criticisms. Right? We want games that are going to make the community proud, that they're going to enjoy, that are going to keep people coming back. Because right now that's not the case, and the level of standard and the expectations are going to keep going up. And if you're going to be able to rival what you're seeing on the Steams and the PlayStations and whatnot. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background. You're going to need that HPC because you're talking about high frame rates. You're talking about needing low latency. If you're doing like a shooter game or something like that, and you're worried about the scoring is fair, that especially if you're going to do something like play to earn, right, where it's down to someone's money. And it can come down to split-second reaction speed. I mean, who dares to try to do something like that right now with the amount of money that could be put on the line? Because once on the blockchain, right, the blockchain's not going to lie, but it's only going to take data in, data out, right, Paul? So it needs to be precise and accurate, and that's what he's going to bring. And if I know there's a solution like that, then I could see a team like ourselves, if we put a team together to take it to the next level, that we would want to be able to be on an infrastructure that we could trust. And right now, it's just not there. I just can't see it. There's nothing out there building a game that's going to actually trust it. So that'd be my take on it.
So what do you think is like the future of gaming? Like, do you think we're going in the right direction, or what is out there for us gamers?
Well, yeah, I think when you look at, every studio is going to have a different genre that they're working with. We're definitely in the casual space and arcade. We're focusing and RPG. So that's one end of the spectrum when it comes to GameFi. So right now, the games don't need too much HPC. What they do need, though, is continuing to expand on graphics and quality. That there's replayability features to it. A lot of games don't have a lot of replayability. Once you do it a few times, you start to get bored of it. Um, so, for example, our next game, Puli Astro, is going to have both it's going to have a story mode. It's going to have multiple scenes and levels and boss modes to go through. So it's not just going to have one playthrough and then you're done. They'll have tutorial mode. Um, we also are looking at bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. So when the game goes, you can go on Android and just be 100% Web 3. But iOS is going to be difficult with you because they're going to insist that you use their in app store. Well, they're not on the blockchain. So the compromise was that, okay, I'll sell a skin on the in app store that resembles an NFT. You're not going to have the same benefits, but at least you can have a similar game experience. So if you want to play the fungible style or the non-fungible style in the same game, then we've at least provide the gateway drug to crypto. So, for like a better word. So that's what we're trying to do, is to find a way to make it easy for someone to say, hey, I'm playing this, but what's this leaderboard contest? And why did this guy just win $10? And so and then you go, hey, maybe I want to go and look at the website further. Oh, this is how you do crypto. So maybe we add some education platform onto it to then help on ramp people to the world of Web3. So GameFi can do a lot. I think statistics are showing that 3 out of 4 people now that are coming on to Web3 or just crypto in general is because of GameFi in some way. That's what introduced them into it. Something that was fun, artistic, like NFTs or something like that, but something crazy, cool, fun, whatever it might be. But with NFTs and why kids just buy skins in general is because they want to flex, right? Check out this cool skin I got jumping around in the game or whatever. They get the skins. I know my son, he's 14. He likes to get the skins so that he can flex in the game. Look, it's a little bit rare. No one's got this one. I'm going to flex. I'm cool. I'm awesome. Well, you can do the same. If you can get an NFT, but it can do the same thing in the game. Like our NFTs provide some attributes. So if your NFT will play the game slightly different than another NFT. Well, we're trying to keep that in balance. We don't want anything to be OP, overpowered. But if the NFT can just do more than something to look at, it can enhance your gameplay in some way, and it enhances playability, and it enhances the fun for it. That's going to be in your case with your games too, Paul. That'll be fun. You're just not going to know what you're going to get until you mint that NFT.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if you get a cool one, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, this one can knock something out. Or however the gameplay goes for you, then that's cool. It's kind of like, so it adds more to just the metadata itself, how rare it is. It's going to have an impact in some kind of environment. So that's what's so cool about it. That's what I like about our own NFTs, and that's where we're going with it. So that's what I see. But just making it more complex, more enjoyable, and definitely replayable.
Sure. That's something that we're working on our side, is for more people to see it, for more people to know about it, and for more people to test it out, because I feel like not so many know about this whole new world. So kind of our job from the CLS side is for more people to hear about it and to try it out, because it's not as scary as it seems. And for some, like the words NFTs and crypto and are scary, and they don't even test them out. So our job is to kind of show that it's a world out there. It's fine to test it. It's fine to check it out, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, my next kind of question is, I guess towards Paul. Like, okay, here we go. How do you see like the improvement of AI tech going further? Like, what do you see are the big things coming up? I know you mentioned some stuff in the beginning, but this is kind of like where we're going on our closing of the AMA. So I just kind of want to sum it up from your end.
Okay, so development is always happening behind the scenes. The next, I would say, milestone is going to be listing. That's really what everybody's waiting for. Whilst we're waiting for that to happen, we're going to continue developing in the background, building new partnerships as well. So what we're looking to do is engage with companies in this space that are going to require our services, whether that's in 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months time. We're kind of forward thinking and looking for projects that are building out platforms that are going to require HPC services. We're not ready to service them yet because we're still developing our AI infrastructure and HPC center, and they're not ready for us because they're still developing their projects. So if we can forge partnerships now in anticipation for the next kind of 12 to 18 months, maybe 24 months, build the pipeline of partnerships for companies that intend to use our services. It will kind of build a pipeline of business when we're ready to go live and operational and they're ready to use our services. We have a nice strong pipeline of business ready to go live. Staking platform will go live shortly after listing. We have our meta battle bots that we're currently in the process of whitelisting. That will go live, I anticipate, within the next month or two, where we'll be selling 10,000 meta battle bots. They will give you access to the play to earn game that we're currently building in Unreal Engine 5. We think maybe 12 to 18 months we'll have V1 available. So what will happen is that when we go live with the listing, you will also be able to stake your Meta BattleBot on a staking platform to earn ATECH tokens. So it kind of gives the NFT a utility whilst everyone's waiting for the play to earn game to be developed and go live. So yeah, we really just want to keep everyone engaged. This is why we had the staking platform idea anyway, because we want to keep our token holders engaged whilst we're developing them in the background. And yeah, we thought that it would be good if we could have the NFT stakeable as well. So we developed a platform where if you hold an NFT, you can stake it to earn ATECH tokens. But if you have ATECH tokens and then you purchase an NFT, you can use that NFT to boost your APY on your already staked ATECH token. So there's a few different options for staking, and the APYs have not been released yet. That is something that we'll release nearer the time, and it gives something else for the community to look forward to. That's pretty much it.
Sounds awesome. I think that there's a lot of things going on, and I think from the marketing side, there's going to be a lot of things on our end to work in and work from. So I think the community will be engaged. You won't lose one. I'm sure of it. Yes. So Chris, going to you. Basically, same thing. Kind of give us some excitement. Let us know what's going on, where you're planning to go, and
Well, first off, it was a relief to hear another CEO, another compadre in this space who's thinking in terms of years. Because that's what we're supposed to be. Our mind is supposed to be in the future. It's not supposed to be here in the now. It's not here to try to create the next pump, right? I'm here to build something that's lasting and sustainable. And that's going to come through multiple revenue streams. And I owe that to the community. So that's where I want my brain to be. I don't want it to be on today, on the here and now. I want it to be way down the road, thinking about what is in store. So it was really refreshing to hear how Paul thinks in those terms. Because quite frankly, I can see how projects like mine can play into it. Like, for example, I'm already thinking, it's kind of like he's talking about NFTs and using NFTs in his game. And I'm thinking, how can my NFTs interact in his game? Right? Because if he can start taking and connecting his dots, and now he's starting to build what's an even larger ecosystem, and that can just even continue to further out. If I can have a bot going around with a badge or a display from my own community going toe to toe against his in battle bots, all the better. Because now We can even have contests. Who's going to kick whose butt this week, and have tournaments and on no kidding NFTs. I mean, I'm seeing some stuff out there right now that is um, tries to do that, but it's superficial. It's still voting of some sort, but it's not a skill based kind of game, a true kind of tournament because we're just not there technologically. But that would just be so incredibly cool if we can somehow manifest our own NFTs into someone else's. Um, Even if it's a ring, I don't care if it's a ring. What do you want to call it? Battle ring for your metaverse. I don't care how big or small it is. If we can enter that space and play with other people with our own NFTs, that is mega cool. So that's the kind of stuff I'm thinking when we're thinking, hey, are we partnered with somebody? What's that partner going to look like? Well, I know a guy. Let me go ring them up right now. We're connected on LinkedIn. I think this is a great way forward. And a lot of times it's really, and when it comes to networking, it's all about who you know. And likewise, Paul is always welcome. Saying, hey, we could use some additional hands on deck to help us with something. One of the services we do is that we like to develop for other projects, and this united DeFi concept to try to bring up other projects or other projects out there that we support that needed our help, and we have been glad to do that. For example, we developed a kart racing game for another project named Doshigo, and it will remind you of the Mario Kart kind of game genre. But
Yeah.
that kind of game is a racing game, and I'm seeing as it goes down the road. So who's going to hit that finish line? Well, we already know we need a server. And so they're going to get on a server and they're going to start doing this stuff. And there's a monthly cost to it. And we know they're going to have a fixed overhead to maintain the server. We already know that. But is the server we're going to get going to be good enough? I don't have the answer to that. And I know Paul does. I know if I went to Paul that he's building with that intent in mind. But will this community that we're building this game for, when we connect it to the blockchain, will all that underlying infrastructure be strong enough? That's the kind of stuff that has me worried right now and thinking about. So we'll see. We may be coming back and going, yeah, Paul, this is what we learned so far. Yeah, you need to hurry up with your with your concept. So, but yeah, so that's a lot of the kind of stuff that I'm thinking of for Puli. Puli Astro is really big. We really want this one to come out from day one as a complete product. I'm going to encourage the team to continue to think, even when we're about ready to do our hard launch on Android and iOS, to already have some other maps and levels laid out every couple months, and just keep building them on and adding them on as a future version 2, version 3, version 4, you know, to keep adding maps so that people still have something going to. And so that's the fun part about that game, is we can continue to add to it. I mean, other games do it, like Angry Birds. They continue to add levels. They got like 150 some odd levels before you even start to want to know more. And so that's a game concept that we can do. We also have an RPG game that is more follows the early pixel art phase of Final Fantasy, where you run your little guy around, you talk to the NPC, they give you a quest, and you go about your thing, and then the characters come on, they can battle the monsters. You pick your move, and it's turn based. So not too cosmic, but you want your storyline to be engaged. You want a good story writer, and everything. So that one we're also taking our time with, because that one needs to make sure that the story is engaging. It's fun. It's not too cheeky or boring. And so, but that's where we're at right now. But Polyastro for sure. And what else can I push? Oh yeah, we just put out our swag. Our store is up and running, so people could buy Puli. You can get the hoodies, you can get T-shirts, you can get ball caps. That's going through tomorrow. You can get a discount on it, 15% discount. And we're looking at being able to purchase these items with crypto. So our crypto store will come up to actually make our store a true Web3 store, where if someone wants to use uh, BNB or Ethereum or Bitcoin or whatever to buy merchandise, that's going to be fine. And down the road, what we want to do is for people to be able to take any NFT that they have and put it on a piece of swag. And that's also common. So we're working with our merchandise on that because we want it to be a true crypto merchandise store. So
we could have our battle bots put on some merch.
Someone mints an NFT, a BattleBot NFT, and then wants to put it on their T-shirt. That's what we want. Where we want to get to as part of our store.
Cool.
So that's the idea. So I'll let you know if we've solved that one. And I think
let me know. Yeah, sounds good.
Get your discount code.
For sure.
Right.
For us as well. So I think this AMA kind of session is coming to an end. I think we got to learn more and discover more from each side. And also one thing that I want everyone to kind of think about for a second is we always hear the part that two projects are really different. It's like, oh no, that's not my type. That's too different for me, right? Mm-hmm. But from the AMA today, we find out that there's always a touching point, always, like no matter what, there's always a touching point. And there's always two projects that are a little bit similar. So don't forget that, guys. And for everyone else who is worried that the recording on Twitter or something like that was freezing, there is going to be a recording like a video out that we're going to release ourselves for you guys to hear in case you missed something or you joined halfway through. So don't you worry about that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting us. Yeah, it's the first time I've actually done this format. I'm watching them on another screen, streaming on Twitter and in our Telegram. It's all working smoothly, it looks like.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. Yes. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, everything covered.
Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
for your time.
Thank you for your time. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Right,
Bye-bye.
catch up soon. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.